What is going on, guys? We are here with SoulWind vs Blackoblivion OLT round 2. This is winner's bracket. So the winner moves on and stays in winner's bracket, and the loser is not out of the tournament yet. It gets a second chance in the loser's bracket. So SoulWind brought this chancy offense. Sabella used this to qualify for OLT some games. It's the move Katana, Scarf Drill, 3 attack Zapdos, Spin Drill. I think he changed it. I think Sabella's version had a clef over the Mew. Yeah, he put a Mew on. So maybe he changed also some sets. I know we already know that he changed 1-1. The Katana was actually Z Night Slash. Not sure if he kept that. I think that is to kill Mews and Mega Ladies. And yeah, Blackoblivion brings a cool bulky offense with Mega Mawile. There could potentially be Toxic Spikes Greninja to help sub Zygarde, or like a DD, yeah, sub DD Zygarde. And the Zapdos, the 10 to the Chansey, I don't know if that tells us if it's max special attack. I assume it's just a fast Zapdos. Like they usually run fast, max speed to outspeed. That's the Toxic Spike that I was talking about. They usually run fast on Zapdos to outspeed land on HPI instead. What did we miss? So this is a Protean with Dark Pulse. Not sure why he Dark Pulse the Chansey, but he gets a flinch. He's gonna go for like Seismic Toss or Rocks here. Yeah, Rocks. Because he doesn't have a defog, he has Spin on his Drill, so he doesn't get rid of the hazards on both sides if he gets rid of them. Spin only gets rid of the hazards on the other side, obviously. But yeah, Mawile is a big problem. Because especially T-Spike helps a lot. Helps Blackoblivion a lot. Otherwise you could switch into Mew and then threaten this with a Will-O-Wisp. He's just gonna stay in and go for T-Wave, so he's gonna go for Hex. Really interesting. I mean, to be fair, he didn't have a good switch in. Like Mew would be a fine play if the T-Spike wasn't up, but he obviously doesn't want to let that get poisoned. And I don't know if Drill would have lived player off into Sucker Punch. I think Katana would have been a potential switch in. Katana should be able to take a player off decently well. So now he's just softball spamming, fishing for Para. There's a player off Mish that obviously sucks. So he's gonna like Seismic Toss, I think. Now he softballs. Player off does like way too much to this Chansey. Oh, and there's a crit that makes up for the miss. And if he doesn't get priority, this Chansey is dead. And now Greninja kinda just wins the game. Like Greninja just got opened up a lot. Like he has no Greninja switch-ins. I mean, maybe the Zapdos can beat it, depending on the side. We have seen Toxic Spikes on Dark Pulse so far. But if it has Ice Beam, Greninja kind of beats everything. I mean, he can check it, because he has the Scarf, X-Kit Drill, and like... But other than that, he can't really check it, right? So he's gonna go for a Heat Wave or a Discharge here. Potentially fishing for Para. Fishing for a Para on the switch, and yeah, there's the Ladi. Do we see the Para? Yeah, we do see the Para, so someone is getting lucky here. But I mean, the luck on the Mawile didn't really matter because he got crit later on, and he didn't end up lucking. He didn't end up lucking the Mawile with the Chansey. I completely understand why Blackoblivion defogged, because SoulWind's Rock Setter is already dead, so he wants to make sure that the rocks are gone to keep his Zapdos healthy, as he gets another crit. Like he gets another like lucky secondary effect, however you say that, like RNG. Yeah, so Blackoblivion is just gonna roost here, obviously. We do see this as not leftovers, so if the Zygarde might be Z-move, but if not, this is also a potential Z-move Zapdos. But yeah, like I don't see how someone beats Greninja at this point. Like I said earlier. And also Mega Mawile is a huge problem every time it comes in on like... Mawile doesn't come in on that much, to be fair. But if Drill locks into a move that's not Earthquake, Mawile comes in. As this time he doesn't crit, there's the Roost. SoulWind also won the speed tire there. He keeps winning the speed tires. Maybe Blackoblivion isn't max speed, but he should be. Yeah, see, this time he wins. This time he's faster, so it's a speed tire. But SoulWind Zapdos obviously has leftovers, so this is a bit better for SoulWind, this one-on-one scenario, but the game overall should be in Blackobливion's favor. As you see, it's Z-move Zapdos, and this is not gonna do too much because he roosted that turn. That still did 40%. So like that should tell us that it's also offensive Zapdos from SoulWind. Like they're obviously both max speed. I'm just not 100% sure if they max special attack or max HP. I assume they are max HP. But yeah, if Blackoblivion gets T-Spikes back up, Zygarde is also gonna become really scary. Yeah, they're just exchanging some attacks, but the power on the Lati sucks so much. I assume it's Scarf Lati on Blackoblivion's team, but still. Like eventually one of them has to switch, and Blackoblivion is the one that has to switch first because his Zapdos doesn't have lefties. Yeah, exactly. ABR said it in chat as well. Lefties beats non-lefties. Yeah, Zapdos is like after someone let his Chansey go down, the obviously the opposing Zapdos also became really annoying. And yeah, SoulWind Zapdos is really well trained, keeps getting crits every now and then. But yeah, Gigavolt Havoc is interesting. I think it can OHKO stuff like Mega Mawile, even though that's not that common. I would have to run some cogs. I'm not gonna do that now. But, like it's probably interesting. What to see what mons it can OHKO. Like there's gonna be like a lot of surprise kills that it gets. But we see a Z Discharge actually. Like if it was Z Thunderbolt or Z Thunder, it would obviously be a lot stronger. I think you need like Z Thunder to OHKO Mega Heracross. And you might need plus special attack nature. I'm just trying to figure out what Blackoblivion is gonna switch out eventually. Like he can like. So I'm gonna spam Discharge here. So like no, he went for HPIs there. But like earlier he was spamming Discharge is what I meant. So like he can try to go into Zygarde, but that's just way too risky. Like I'm not sure what Blackoblivion is gonna bring out is what I'm trying to say. Because eventually he's forced to switch unless he wants to sack his Zapdos. So I assume he's gonna. Yeah, now here we can compare the PP real quick. He has 19 Discharge, 6 Roost, 10 Heatwave, and 20 hidden powers. As this one has 12 hidden powers, 11 Discharges, 7 hidden powers. And yeah, like I assume he's just gonna go into Lati eventually and kind of sack that off because someone got the lucky para on that. But I do understand. By staying in Blackoblivion, obviously stole some PP from the Zapdos. And if Zapdos runs out of HPIs, then Zygarde would wall it, which would be nice. So someone has to be careful. Like he cannot just spam HPIs. And we see that now that he's just changing it up again and using Discharge. Exactly. Like I assume that he's eventually gonna sack the Lati and then go to Mawile, or if he has Ice Beam, maybe go to Gren, but I'm not sure. Max Speed obviously outspeeds Max Speed Zapdos obviously outspeeds Zygarde. So yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Eventually he's gonna go Lati, so that's what he did now. I assume someone is just gonna go into Excadrill here that eats up a Draco and it also covers the trick play. He just stays into Ice Beam. And he gets a freeze, and this Greninja kinda just won. I mean, you can say he shouldn't have gone hard into it, but that sucks a lot. What was I trying to say? I got caught off guard by that freeze. I got like thrown off. Yeah, I don't know if Mew even outspeeds Scarf Lati even with the para. So like, I'm not sure if I agree with someone's play of staying in there because the Lati could have potentially tricked the Mew and cripple it. But yeah, now he's gonna go into Zapdos or Ferrothorn, I assume. He can also sack the Lati, but I think he doesn't lose too much from going Zap. As he goes Ferro, okay. I mean, his Ferro was at full. But that Zapdos also would have worked there, as you guys can see, he went for Ironhead. And even if he went for Rock Slide, that would have, like, Zapdos eats that. But yeah, his Ferro obviously was at full, so that was a fine play. And so when we can go to Katana here, that covers the Leech Seed play, and he... Yeah, exactly, I was about to say, Blackoblivion can go for Hazard, he goes Hard Pins here. I can understand why he would go Pinsir. If it's SD Stone Edge Pinsir, this would be nice for him. So he SDs up. Jarable does a lot, so if this is defensive Pharaoh, like with a lot of Fist Death, it might live a +2 frustration. And Jarable kills this. I mean, does he need this? This Pharaoh is nice for the drill, obviously, as we've seen. If it has knockoff, it's also nice for the Mew or the Zap, like to catch the Zapdos on a switch and knock off the lefties. You obviously don't want to stay in on the Heat Wave, but I think he might be. Nah, I think you can just sack the Lati here. The Lati is para. Just sack the Lati here, yeah. You can sack the Lati and then you can go into Zapdos, but if he's banned, he can go into Zygarde and E-Speed if that kills, but I think that doesn't kill. Yeah, he probably has to sack the Lati here and then go into not Morwa, Zapdos. What am I? Yeah, I'm really tired, but I want to get a lot of games up for you guys. You can expect, like, I think I have like 3 more series that I have backup recorded that I'm gonna narrate later. It's gonna be fire. Yeah, just sacking Lati makes the most sense to me. Like, the Ferrothorn is still useful. Like, it's not necessary, but it can put in some work. And yeah, there were like a lot of like the hacks on the thing didn't matter too much. The hacks on the between the Morwa and the Chansey, but then SoulWind got some other hacks. The Para on the Lati. Yes, he just hacks the Lati. Now he goes Zapdos and hopes that it's not Stone Edge. If it's Stone Edge, this is actually scary. On the original team that Sabella made, it was not Stone Edge, as he didn't change it. That did so much. I think that is that Adamant. Oh no, it's just offensive Zapdos. I'm used to Zapdos being defensive. That's why I was so surprised. So he Heat Waved there, which was super risky. He expected SoulWind to potentially go into Excadrill, and Heat Wave obviously also kills the Pinsir. So that was a fine play, but it was risky. This is, I think, Z-move Kartana, so I assume Blackoblivion is gonna. Why did he leave play the Zap? Oh, the Zap was in range. I didn't look at the. Yeah, the Zap was in range, and the original Kartana was not all-out pummeling, or didn't have a fighting move, but this is actually really scary. He changed it to sub Kartana, so this Kartana set definitely puts in some work. Jarabol is gonna break the sub. He's gonna sub again, and if he changes it to Sacred Sword, Z Sacred Sword, actually, aka all-out pummeling, then that doesn't make any contact, which means even if he subs down again and again, he won't die to Iron Barbs. So the Blackoblivion, I mean, the problem with the Katana is if it gets too low, it doesn't sweep because it gets into Sucker Punch range and it also gets into potential E-Speed range from Morwal if it gets super low. But yeah, Greninja being frozen makes this Kartana decently threatening. If that was even correct English. But yeah, Blackoblivion probably has to just Gyro Ball again. We'll see if it's a roll to break the sub. The Gyro Ball. As he just goes for Gyro Ball. I'm really surprised that the substitute only made him take 23%. Like, what the fuck was that? The first sub made him lose 25 and now he lost 23. Like, there was some really weird round down. Like, what? Like, Showdown rounds the numbers really weirdly. Like, what? I don't get Showdown sometimes. So you guys can see it was a roll to break the sub. And like, he's probably gonna try to sub again because he needs a sub up to not die to Sucker from Morwal. I assume Sucker from Morwal would kill from here. And the way he's playing this, it makes sense that, like, he's most likely has a fighting move on his Kartana, aka Sacred Sword. As he gets the roll again there, so Blackoblivion doesn't lose to this Kartana now. He can revenge it with E-Speed or Sucker Punch. So that is nice because, like, the Greninja getting frozen sucked a lot, and if he lost because of Greninja getting frozen, that would have been so annoying. But yeah, I assume we're gonna see the fighting move here, and we'll see if it's a regular second sword, but that would mean that the katana dies to iron bobs. But if it's the all-out pummeling, that doesn't make contact, and he gets this kill. SoulWind's Mew can win this game. Now that Blackoblivion's Greninja got frozen. Yeah, SoulWind's Mew actually has a chance to win. So he sacks the Zapdos on the all-out pummeling. That was a GOAT play. Actually made a lot of sense. It's just hard for me to remember everything. Yeah, especially when I'm tired. But he can just go into Zygarde or Mobile here and click the priority move. And like the Mew, why I said that the Mew could win is like it wisps everything. It wisps the Mobile, the Zygarde, and the Ferrothorn. But since he kept the Ferro alive, that doesn't mean that helps a lot with the Mew, because the burn obviously got nerfed, and the cheater would be really annoying for the Mew. So that's definitely nice for Blackoblivion. And like I don't know if he has E-Speed on Zygarde. I assume that he has DD substitute 1000 arrows. Then either Protect or E-Speed. So I think he's gonna go Mobile and Sucker. And yeah, keeping Ferrothorn is also really nice for the drill, as he's paralyzed. So if he gets full parried, that is gonna be not so good for him. Like, I'm kind of rooting for Blackoblivion, and his team is cool. I don't know if NJ and PK made this for him, but yeah, he gets parried there, which sucks. But thankfully, SoulWind didn't stay in. Otherwise, the katana would have killed the Mawile. Like, I don't know if seconds would Okos. I don't think it would have Oko, but I would have done a lot. I would have done a lot. It was a +3. Might have Oko'd. So Zygarde, we see its lefties, which confirms that it's probably sub DD. Just kills off the drill with T arrows. I don't know why SoulWind didn't go to Mew there. Was his Mew not at full? Like, was his Mew not healthy enough? That was so weird that he didn't go to Mew. Like, Mew usually should be fast enough for Zygarde and run Ice Beam, or Will-O-Wisp at least. So, like, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go to Mew, but maybe I'm missing something and he wasn't healthy. And now you can just HP Ice his up. This is obviously faster. They run max speed. I mentioned this like so often. Yeah, exactly. Mazar in the chat. Imagine if SoulWind stayed in on Para. Oh, he misspelled it. He spelled Foulwind instead of SoulWind. Now the chat is going wild about that. They're memeing. Oh, he's watching football. That's why he spelled Foulwind. I think he meant soccer, the soccer type of football. Yeah, I also watched that. Oh, Dortmund Cologne. Ooh. I'm from Germany, so like that's kind of interesting for me. I have lived near Cologne like a few years ago. But yeah, let's talk about the game, not about where I've lived. Yeah, Mo is just gonna spam play rough here. There's a heatwave miss. I mean, that is justice, not gonna lie. That's some justice for the freeze. I'm just laughing about the Smurktis chat, not about SoulWind's miss. Hopefully he doesn't get offended if he watches this. I know that Blackoblivion. Like, I watched Blackoblivion last year in OLT, and like, I know he's pretty good, but like, he lost to Eternal, the guy that got to finals. But yeah, let's not talk about that for now. The Mora being paralyzed means the Mew can't burn it, so the Mora just beats the Mew one-on-one. Unless he gets lucky and gets 500 million paras. As we will substitute, so we know that is he will suck up player off and sub now. So I'm pretty sure that the last move is like either Thunder Punch or Fire Fang, probably Thunder Punch. Like it should be 3 attacks substitute. That set is pretty cool. I know Benga has used that set and like S tours. If I recall correctly. So he's roosting here, trying to break the Sucker Punch or fishing for some paras. But yeah, this SoulWind needs so much hacks at this point to come back. Someone in the Smurktis chat earlier said, yes, SoulWind said GG, the game is over, and the Blackoblivion said GG first. SoulWind said no. What the fuck? Why did he say no? Like, he froze the Greninja. Like, it's not like Blackoblivion. Okay, he missed the heat wave. That's probably why he said no. But like, the Greninja won anyway, dude. Like, hello. Yeah, exactly, my grandmother won without freeze. But yeah, I lost my thought process from earlier. He's banking on Paras now, trying to SD up. But yeah, even if he got all the Paras and killed them all, well, he would have died to iron barbs from the Ferrothorn. That was funny, dude. But yeah, someone in the Smog's chat earlier said, I think it was Bloggle, that the SoulWind like walls Blackobligion's entire team with Chansey, but he stayed in with Chansey on the one thing that Chansey doesn't wall. That is correct, yes, but T-Spikes were up at that point. So like, what was the switch in? Like Mew that he could go into if T-Spikes weren't up. That's like, if Mew gets poisoned, that's really annoying, and that helps the Zygarde a lot. And like, what I guess he could have gone to Kartana. Because Kartana, I know it has shitty HP and shitty speed def, but the fist def is actually really decent. So like, it takes hits better than you would expect it. Pretty sure Kartana can easily eat off a player off. So yeah, we're waiting for game 2 basically. But this is too funny. The guy actually said it's not GG. He actually said no. So SoulWind brought a team that wasn't made by himself. This was the Sabala team. We're back with game 2, and now SoulWind brought this is my man Story made this Trick Room team. So SoulWind bringing teams that he didn't make himself twice. Very interesting. I mean, like, I know that he's like more of an old gen player, but like, I didn't really expect him to bring like teams that are that well known. Like, this team is an RNT. Like, even the only thing he changed is he put a Heracross over the Mega Mawile. But yeah, it looks like Marowak and Heracross click buttons this game and get some kills left and right. Especially Crawdon and Marowak get some kills. Heracross can get checked by Clefable and Pex. But yeah, if Blackoblivion has like a substitute on his Mam or his Pinsir, that would be a nice lead to... because substitute is really nice versus Trick Room to stall out turns. So SoulWind is gonna go for his rocks here, / for Trick Room. He's gonna go for rocks first, I assume. Because Yuxi is like really fat. I mean, he can run the calc if Yuxi lifts a +2 frustration, and if Yuxi lifts a +2 frustration, he can go for rocks and then for Trick Room. So we do see Blackoblivion has sub pins, so that's really nice. There's the Trick Room. And I assume we're gonna see the rocks here from SoulWind and the SD from Blackoblivion. Mamoswan is actually really amazing versus some balanced teams. But yeah, SoulWind has a Mega Heracross that kinda beats the Mamo. He goes for Skill Swap. Oh my lord, what a god! So he changed the set. To Skill Swap. Usually this is Memento, Stealth Rocks, Trick Room. I forgot the last move. But what this means is he lost Aerial 8 on Pinsir and he got Levitate. This means return. He's sub-return SD and most likely Quick Attack. This means that Marowak walls the Pinsir, which is crazy. So like Blackoblivion is probably going to be forced to switch out. I forgot what's this Yuxi's moveset. Oh yeah, Magic Code. It was originally Magic Code, Trick Room, Memento, Rocks. But he changed it to Skill Swap. That is obviously to get up Rocks versus Mega Sableye. I don't know what. Did he expect Oblivion to bring like a Sableye? But his Pinsir was forced out because he gets walled by Marowak anyway. So like there was no point in staying in. I mean, he could have stayed in to kill this Yuxi, but then Marowak would have came out anyway. It would have actually been nice if he stayed in there to kill the Yuxi because he still had a sub up. So even if Marowak came out after, he would have been able to waste the turn of Trick Room. But on the other side, Marowak could SD for free on the Pinsir, since the Pinsir can't touch it. So I completely understand why he switched out, and I assume he's gonna go for like if the Clef has knockoff here, that's a potential play because you don't want to let the Marowak come in. So we can go into Magearna here actually. Yeah, he goes hard Magearna, and there's the rocks. The rocks are up on both sides now. The rocks are really important here to chip at the Marowak. And this was like T-Bolt, sometimes Z Flurkan, sometimes Z T-Bolt. I'm not sure which version he has, but he might have changed it to Flash Can, the Magearna, because he brought it out on the Clef as if he could touch the Clef. So he just goes for T-Bolt. This is absolutely nothing. But I assume that, yeah, he's obviously just gonna Trick Room again here. Trick Room just ended. But I feel like he has something to hit the clef on the Midjourney, otherwise this just doesn't make any sense to me. Crit special attack drop, so that's a bit annoying for SoulWind. If he doesn't have anything to touch this, he might go hard into Merrick, but that's kind of risky. So I assume we're just gonna see a softball from Blackoblivion or a switch into Toxapex. Earlier he will potentially predicting the Toxapex, I assume. Or the Subtle Stealer. I mean, what does he need this clef for? The clef is nice to check the Hera and the Crawdons. So I think it's in Blackoblivion's interest to switch. Actually, no, I mean, he gets a special attack drop. Since he gets a special attack drop, he can kind of afford to stay in and just go for Moonblast. He already revealed the rocks, so Moonblast, Softball, and the last move is a knockoff or Calm Mind or Flamethrower. Not sure. His team is not weak to. He's not weak at to Scissor. My bad, guys. His team is not weak to Scissor at all. So I think it's not Flamethrower Clef because he has a Celesteela that walls pins and Scissor and beats it, and it has a Toxapex that walls it and beats it. So I think it's either knockoff or like Calm Mind. And you see it's Flash Cannon, but the special attack drop helps him out, so he eats it up. Softball is to just stall a Trick Room. I expect SoulWind to switch out into Marowak eventually. I mean, yeah, this Midjourney was somewhat threatening if you didn't get that special attack drop, especially. So that sucks. The Hex in the first game didn't really matter, but this sucks. So he goes hard into Marowak. Blackoblivion just went into Pex there, expecting another Flash Cannon, just stalling on some Trick Room turns. I assume he would have gone to Pex and then pivoted back into Clef or something like that, yeah. Pex can also eat up a -1 T-Bolt anyways. So yeah, this is still chat show because Dougie was still allowed in this round. Duck Trio is officially banned now. Arena Trap, not Duck Trio. But this is... I'm surprised that he stayed in to let this get low. I mean, I know that he has Luna Dance and he's gonna Luna Dance his Merrick back later. One thing I don't like about this Trick Room team is it doesn't have hazard control. And like Trick Room, people say Trick Room is like easy to use, but like you still have to... It's not that easy. It's not as easy as you would think. It's not 3 points. Like some people talk about it as if it's 3 points. You still have to know what you're doing when you use Trick Room. And for me, it's like... I haven't used Trick Room much, but it doesn't seem that easy to use for me. You have to like manage your sweepers correct. It's hard to... Trick Room doesn't have good ways to get the sweepers in. Like I know that sometimes people use Volt Switch on Trick Room Midjourney to get the sweepers in. But like overall it's hard for Trick Room to get the sweepers in. So he just goes to Krell. There's I think a Crash Crit and it does absolutely nothing. This is a Z-move Mamoswine, Sub-Zero Slammer, and Crusader just laughs at that and gets the Trick Room up. So he can either go for Moonlight or Luna Dance here. I assume he's gonna Moonlight. But if he Moonlights, he kind of wastes his own Trick Room turns. So the Toxapex show Toxic. Not sure if it's double Toxic plus Toxic Spikes. I assume the other moves are Haze, Recover, and Scald. I don't think it's Toxic Spikes as well on this team. Yeah, but Blackoblivion has been bringing a lot of cool bulky offense. I like that playstyle a lot. Yeah, you can just go for Recover here with his Toxapex. He doesn't lose anything. It's not like Crusader can touch this. And if SoulWind switches, Recover means that this can easily eat any hit. He might go into Midjourney and start firing off T-Bolts, or he might go on the Crawl and knock off or SD. There's some lag, but it's better now. It's crazy how bulky Crest is. Imagine Crest got a reliable recovery move. Like Moonlight is kind of reliable, but it only has 8 PP, and it gets influenced from weather or by weather, so it's not the most reliable. But I made a video about Chris as well, like break that Pokemon where he made it like, I think fairy psychic type. That would be so cool. Like it gets the extra weakness from steel and poison, but still, it's such cool typing. But let's not talk about that. Yeah, you just go Crora and then you can just SD or knockoff here, like I said. Since this Pex but Death, knockoff might actually kill. Because this is obviously Adamant Life Orb Crawdon with adaptability. You don't sleep. This one is scary, especially in a Trick Room. This Pex is really nice. So I think Blackoblivion is just gonna sack his Mamoswine here. He stays until sack his Pex. I thought he would have sacked his Mamoswine, to be honest. So he goes Shadow Stealer, and I think he's just gonna Leash Sheet here because if Leash Sheet or like Heavy Slam if that Twit kills, but probably Leash Sheet. You don't want to protect and potentially give this Crawdon the free SD. There's no point in doing that. I assume SoulWind is gonna SD knockoff, or he can also switch out into something like whatchamacallit. He could switch into something like Creth and reset the Trick Room. But he just knocks out that does a fuck ton. And the Leash Sheet I assume is here, not the Heavy Slam. Okay, that doesn't do much. But Crawdon is getting low, he can go to Clef here. Oh, he can go to Mamoswine, because Ice Shard would bring this Crawdon in range to die from Life Orb, because Life Orb does around, I think, 10% recoil, or 9, I don't really remember. But yeah, Ice Shard definitely brings this in range from Life Orb. Oh, that's a Scarf. That's a Scarf Lady on Blackoblivion's team, most likely, with Healing Wish support for, Mamo or Pinsir. I mean, even if one of his walls get low, he can Healing Wish those as well. But it's mainly meant for sweepers, I assume. So Ice Shot is gonna come out. Crawdon is gonna go for Jet and the Life Orb. Pinsir's actually really low because it already went for sub earlier and rock startup, so it's like at around 25%. But yeah, this song is pretty fire. I have in the background, like multiple people have asked me for this song. It's a remix by Matt Houston, and yeah, the link to the song is in the description if you guys want to check it out. Oh god, for a second my screen got completely messed up. Someone is gonna comment about this. I don't know why people always like comment about when something is messed up in the video. Like, there's a lot of positive things. If there's like one or two little errors, like, you don't have to mention that every time. I know that I make mistakes, but yeah. So he resets the Trick Room with the Crest. This time Blackoblivion doesn't get a special attack drop, and there's a crit on the Clef. That I definitely wouldn't have O-code, but you also got a special attack drop early in the Majourner, so you can say that was fair. So Blackoblivion is just sacking Mons now, and he just loses. He doesn't have enough sacks before Trick Room ends. So it is 1-1 now, and we'll see a game 3, which is pretty hype. Yeah. What am I saying? What am I trying to say? If this was Gigavolt Havoc, it didn't matter if Blackoblivion kept his Pex around. That would have blown the Pex away, I'm pretty sure. But I feel like he should have kept his Pex around. Yeah, one thing that is big was also, like, if Pex had Black Sludge, that kind of, like, it helps a lot. It increases his bulk. So, like, Dougie, Arena Trap is gone now, so, like, Pex can afford to run it now. Even though, I've mentioned this before, but Pex, Satchel is still nice on Pex because you can switch out of Magma Storm from Tran. Like, the passive recovery it gives Pex is just super nice. Imagine a team with Toxapex and Tapu Bulu, that's something I would use. Pex gets Black Sludge and Grassy Terrain recovery, which means it's super healthy. Like, it just stays super healthy and has regenerated on top of that. It's just a really cool core. And you also weaken ground moves, which means you can afford to stay in with packs on land, risk earthquake, and just it will do around like 44. Something like that, you can eat it up. But yeah, we are back with game 3, and SoulWind brought stall this time. Blackoblivion brings this team that Ojama used versus ABR in, I think, round 1 of OLT. It was Specs, Gengar, Z-Move, Bulu. It was actually Z-Rocky and Bulu. But we will see if he put the Z-Move on this different one like Zygarde. Make it the NC squad with Toxic Spikes on the Toxic Packs to support the DT Zygarde. Looking at Blackoblivion's teams, like at his team, just like over in general, it seems to be. It looks like Magearna kinda, if it has the correct set, kinda runs through his team. But yeah, Magearna is stupidly good at the moment, especially now with Arena Trap being gone. But yeah, in this game we see, and SoulWind still has a Dougie, so Arena Trap is not gone yet. Basically, Blackoblivion's ways of breaking this team. Specs Gengar is really scary. He can potentially cripple the chance he would trick. SoulWind doesn't have a Mega Sableye, so it's harder for him to play around Specs Gengar. If he had a Mega Sableye, that would force Blackoblivion to go for Shadow Ball some turns, because Trick obviously won't do anything to Sab. Mega Sab runs Max Dev most of the time these days and can even switch into Specs Shadow Ball. But yeah, he doesn't have that. This is just a standard stall that was used by a lot of people. There's like different versions of the stall. There's like a version that Zakuru made that has skill swap on Chansey and no rocks. And there's a version with fast Alamomola with knockoff to knock off Marowak, so that you don't get destroyed by Marowak. Because if you knock it off, you get rid of the Cyclop and its attack isn't that strong anymore. But yeah, Blackoblivion can just get up a Toxic Spike here as he knocks off the Shed Shell. So this is basically step 1. This just shows you why Duck Tree or Arena Trap is broken. This is step 1 of SoulWind potentially trapping the packs later. The Dougie on this team, if it's Z ground, it can Oko the packs because packs run Spadef these days. Dougie can also trap the DNC obviously, and if it's Pursuit, it can also trap the Gengar kinda. Yeah, I don't know if it Okos because Pursuit is only base 40 and Dougie's kind of. It's not that weak anymore because I got an attack buff. I always forget about the attack buff. That is one of the main reasons why Dougie is so annoying. If Dougie only had 80 base attack, I don't know why he Toxic packs. That was an odd play. He predicted some switch, but like, I don't know why he didn't just go for Scald. Like, if Dougie only had 80 attack, it wouldn't even break Toxic packs well. That would be funny, and those that would be maybe a different story. The Arena Trap ban. So we see it is most likely Z-Move Zygarde because he didn't get knocked off. I mean, it's not Mega, so it's obviously Z-Move. Zygarde doesn't have a Mega. What am I saying? It's obviously Z-Move Zygarde. He does go for sub DD. So like he does go for sub. We know he's sub DD. And so he changed it to Z-Move. So the question here is if he's Z. Does this have Whirlwind? He just goes for defog. The question here is if he's Z Outrage or if he's Z 1000 Arrows. So if he goes for 1000 Arrows and doesn't do much to Clef. Clef runs Bolt on stall, or just in general, Clef runs Max Defense most of the time. And I assume that Wish is coming out from SoulWind or Protect to get some leftovers. He could also Moonblast, but I assume he wants to Protect to get the extra turn of lefties. He doesn't lose much by protecting, even if Zygarde DDs again. He has Unaware on his Clef, so he doesn't really care about that boost. But the rest of his team does care about the boost, so he has to be careful. So we do see 1000 Arrows. He's just gonna spam this and try to bring this Clef in range. If it's really if it's grounding Z 1000 Arrows, then another 1000 Arrows might bring this Clef into a Z groundium the next time. And then it might come down to, I don't know, someone might try to predict that and go into Skarmory, predicting the Z Outrage, but that will still do a lot with the Dragonlance boost, especially if someone goes for another Dragonlance on a Protect later. They're saying watch this Iron Tail in the chat. But yeah, he's gonna 1000 arrows here, I assume. So he goes on the Alamo Mola, and that did a fuck ton. So this Alamo is definitely not max defense, it's like mixed defensive. I don't really understand what SoulWind did there. Like, he switched out and then he switched back in. That was really, really weird to me. I don't know why he didn't just go for Moonblast or Wish. I think Wish would have been the play. This was just weird, because now he got chipped, and if this is actually 3000 arrows, it might kill from this range. I think he was scouting for 3000 arrows in that turn where he switched into Alamo Mola. I think he was scouting for that. Yeah, but I think he would have lived it from the range he's at. Because he was at like 70 something, now he's at 59. Now he definitely dies if it's ZT arrows. This is so weird. If he breaks the ZT arrows here, can he go into Skarmory or Zapdos? Because I think ZT arrows doesn't work like regular T arrows. I'm not sure how that works. I've never used that move. But we shall see now. Like, if it doesn't work on flying types, then he should scout for it. But he doesn't scout for it, and there's the Tectonic Rage. And Clefable says goodbye. And this matchup is going to be hard for SoulWind to win. Like, this game is going to be tough for him to win. And like, the Zygarde is at +1 behind his sub, so it's gonna fuck up SoulWind a bit. Zapdos can take a +1 arrows, and he can HPIs and 2-hit KO this. I assume that it 2-hit KOs. Like, HPIs should be able to do 67 to a Zygarde. And Zapdos is actually looking really annoying for Blackoblivion's team, but he has a DNC, so he should be fine. The only problem is there's a Dougie on the other side that can trap the DNC eventually. Especially if SoulWind doubles into Dougie predicting the DNC when his Zapdos is out later after he breaks the sub, that would be a fire play. So I'm not too sure. Like, he probably scouted for Z-move going to Aloe earlier, but not too sure, like, because his Clef was still healthy, and then he got worn down. And so he goes into Chansey to break the toss. To break the substitute. Good God, what am I saying? To break the toss. To break the sub from the Zygarde. I'm not sure about the last move on this. Zygarde, it's either Outrage or E-Speed. I think Outrage makes sense. It could be Outrage, yeah. So if it's Outrage, he can kill something here. Unless SoulWind goes in Hardness Skarm. So he just goes for the T-Arrows here. There's a Toxic. But yeah, his Chansey is super low now. And he doesn't really... The only thing that Chansey can heal on is like... Yeah, now he can switch around because his Zygarde is poisoned. He can switch into like... Yeah, he can protect, get some more chip. Then he can go into Skarmory or something, and then he can go back into Alamo Mola, and the Toxic is going to kill the Zygarde. So SoulWind doesn't just lose to this, but his team still got weakened, and he lost his Unaware Mon. And there's still a Specs Gengar. So he goes hard Zapdos. He's going to take like half, I would assume. He gets a crit and does 80. Wow. Yeah, Chansey can only heal on like... Maybe on Celesteela if Heavy Slam gets a low roll. I don't know the calc on that. But yeah, now he goes into Aloe. He has another crit. This Zygarde is well trained. But yeah, Aloe has regen, so it's not the end of the world. And he can also try to pull a double into Zapdos later on to get some more lefties back. But yeah, the main one that Chansey can heal on is obviously the Toxapex. So I assume we are gonna see the switch into either the Gengar or the Bulu here. I feel like Gengar puts the most offensive pressure. We kind of still have to predict though. You have to predict between. If he goes Chansey here, then Trick would be a nice play. He can just Trick to protect to scout what you lock yourself into. So he does go for Trick. SoulWind knows that it's locked into Trick, and he can now go into Duck Trio. Blackoblivion might predict him to go into Duck Trio and pull a double here into like Celesteela. He just stay in with his Gengar. Blackoblivion doesn't lose anything. Unless this Dougie has Pursuit. If this Dougie has Pursuit, Blackoblivion loses a lot here. Because that would, but he doesn't have Pursuit. He pulls a nice double into Zapdos, knowing Blackoblivion wasn't gonna stay in there. Goes hard on the Bulu. And SoulWind can go into his Skarmory here. Because Heatwave doesn't kill, and Bulu, I'm pretty sure, can kill the Zapdos from here. And if he roosts, he would get blown away by a Grass move because he would lose his Flying type. So Skarm seems like the play to make. Blackoblivion might double into like Gengar to put pressure on the Skarmory, as he does just do that nice play. So now does he go again into Dougie and predicting the trick, or does he go into Chansey predicting a Shadow Ball? But this is so tough. I would not want to be in Blackoblivion's position because I don't know what to do here. I would probably stay in and roost and see what the Gengar locks itself into, but then if your Skarmory gets tricked, that's also annoying. It's obviously Shed Shell on this team, so that would mean that the Gengar can change up moves if it gets a Shed Shell, and then it becomes really annoying for SoulWind. And it also can still trick that Shed Shell well. But yeah, if he Sludge Raves here and like catches the Chansey on a switch. I think I was talking about the Chansey earlier. I don't really remember what I was talking about, but I might have forgotten that the Chansey is like super low at 13%. So like it was in range from Sludge Rave. But I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think Trick or Shadow Ball is coming out. Dude, I don't know. This is a tough turn. Trick, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave is coming out. Obviously, like I know it's kind of obvious. One of the things are coming out, but like I don't know. I really want to Sludge Wave here if I'm Blackoblivion, because I think he's not gonna stay in with the Skarmory. Like if he goes in a Chansey and a Shadow Ball and he gets Grassy Terrain, and you lose a lot if you Blackoblivion. So you either Trick or you Sludge Wave. I don't think you ever Shadow Ball here. Now that I thought about this for a while. I mean, it's not the end of the world. No, it is kind of the end of the world if you Shadow Balls. Like it's not that he just loses, but if he Shadow Balls, then the Chansey gets to heal. But Grassy Terrain and Softball, they would get super healthy. Huh. I mean, what is the Skarmory doing if it stays in and you go for Sludge Wave? It can do for like a Spike. So he does decide to make the Duck Trio play. There's the trick. SoulWind looked like a complete god. Duck Trio might have been able to take a Sludge Wave, I'm not sure. So he got that turn. Like that's, I love it when, like if you use Stall and you just play it safe, it's boring as fuck. I've said this before. If you play it aggressive like this, that's just, gotta love those games. Like it's just fire. Like you've seen his timer ran down. He thought so long about this turn, and now he doubles back and gets more lefties as he knows Blackoblivion is not gonna stay in. And his Zapdos is slowly getting his health back, and he can just go back and dude, Blackoblivion can double back in the Gengar here on the Skarmory. And then if there's another scenario where it's just tough for SoulWind to play around. So he does Horn Leech, just playing it safe there in case someone wanted to roost. Soon we're gonna see the Gengar here. He just taunts the Skarmory. Okay, so he has a taunt type of Bulldozer, so he's ready for SoulWind. Like Blackoblivion probably expected him to bring some fat. Taunt also helps. He goes hard Gengar on a Heat Wave and eats it up. Taunt also on Bulo also helps versus like it doesn't only help versus Skarmory, just in general versus Stall. It's really nice when your Grassy Terrain runs out. It helps versus Clefable, so it can't go for Wish. Like some ones can't go for Toxic if you taunt them. It's just really nice with that matchup. And this time, I was just about to say, so it might go into Skarmory expecting the Sludge Wave, but he didn't. So this is looking nice for Blackoblivion. Gengar got this kill. And since he doesn't have Pursuit on Dougie, he would have gone for it earlier if he had it. Like every time this Gengar comes in, like SoulWind just has to. SoulWind is sweating every time this Gengar comes in. It's just scary for him. So now he can go obviously into Skarmory. I assume the Chansey, since it's that low, it's gonna die to Sludge Wave. He can also go Alomomola here, and then go into Skarmory, because then when he gets some regen. I'm pretty sure someone predicted him to like Not sure what he predicted. He probably was hoping that Blackoblivion would go for Shadow Ball, expecting the Skarmory. That would mean after he sacks his Zapdos to Shadow Ball, he could then heal his Chansey. That might be the case. That he was hoping for that. So he goes Dagi. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, Dagi obviously scares this out, but I thought he would just gone into Alomomola and then pivot and go back to Skarm to get regen. But yeah, Oblivion is gonna go into either Bulu or Celesteela here. Goes into Celesteela. There's the Chansey. Now SoulWind. Is he gonna stay in here? I don't know. Celesteela runs minus speed, right? So Chansey's I think Chansey is faster than Celesteela, since they run a minus speed nature. But SoulWind doesn't want to risk that. Okay, that's just a heavy slam. Is he gonna go? Okay, go for Wish. That was so risky. Like, nah, he was out of range from Heavy Slam, but he would have been at like 4% or something if he Heavy Slammed again. He's gonna protect the Skull, but the Gengar locks itself into. That's obviously smart. Now he's just gonna go into Skarmory. Blackoblivion can go into his Toxapex here and get up a Toxic Spike, but he just plays it safe. He tries to catch SoulWind. He tries to catch SoulWind on a stay in, and he Sludge Waves again like a god. That does 71 to the Alomomola. That did 5 bajillion. And so like SoulWind spamming Sludge Wave, trying to not SoulWind, Blackoblivion spamming it, trying to catch SoulWind on a stay in or on a double back. Amazing. Like, this is just super interesting for me to watch. Like, I don't even care that it's stall on the one of this on one side. This game's fire. Like last round we saw Blackoblivion versus Comp. There was already fire game, and now it's fire again. And yeah, he's just spamming Toxic here, hoping to catch maybe the Bulu. I don't know. But the Skarmory is just super passive. He's gonna protect here to Scout again as Blackoblivion uses this as an opportunity to get a free switch on the top of Bulu. If he's sub on this Bulu, that's nice, but he already revealed Taunt, so it's probably Taunt 3 attacks. Or Taunt SD 2 attacks. He does go for SD, but the Skarmory can't do anything to the Bulu. It's taunted, so all he can do is click counter. Blackoblivion just spams SD. I don't know why he went for counter there. I feel like he could have gone for another move because the taunt was pretty obvious there, and if he went for another move he would have saved the PP, because if you get taunted you don't lose a PP that turn, you just can't use the move. But yeah, it's looking as like Blackoblivion just wins, and bop. Is it life up? Yeah, it's probably life up, but it's not, because he was Z move on the Zygarde, so I thought this might have been life up. So he just forfeit, as Horn Leech would have cleaned up everything there. A really cool game. Big fan of game 1 was like hacksy, but I also liked that. Like, I also liked that game, but game 3 was just fire to watch. And SoulWind kind of got destroyed in game 3, even though he tried to come back. He made some. This matchup was just too hard for SoulWind. But yeah, I'm gonna be back later with more OLT series. And do I have anything else to say? Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy these tournament uploads. I have, like, sometimes when I miss a series, I try to go on YouTube and I see if someone else recorded the series so I can watch it live, because it's super fun to watch tournament games live. But then I never see anyone upload, so I realize I'm like the main person that uploads these tour games. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing these. People probably like this, so yeah, let me know with a thumbs up if you appreciate that I do these uploads. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day. Dokkerich signing out. Peace.